back for part 2.
Yes, to Super Flash. These are the episodes that actually had some meat to them.
The Agents of Flash.
Yes.
Which one would you rather talk about first?
I think we should keep with the normal routine. We'll go Flash and then end with S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right.
Yeah.
So, if you listen to part 1, we had issues. Not big ones, but enough to comment on that. When Supergirl came back, while a good episode, it was like, why did you make us wait 3 weeks to show this one?
Right, we weren't on the edge of our seat. We weren't wondering what's going to happen, sort of thing.
If anything, it maybe helped us more that we knew who Robbie was. If you don't watch iZombie, this episode, I couldn't tell you what it had for you.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you were really hoping that Kara was going to get her job back at Catco. That's the only major plot point.
However, Flash did not do that to us.
No.
Flash delivered.
Yeah, and Flash, they actually kind of took a page out of Marvel's book this time, because the previews for this episode didn't tell you everything.
Okay. I mean, I sometimes I've stopped with DC previews.
Yeah.
Just to be like, you know what? Just gonna go in blind.
Well, I don't go out searching for them, but if I'm watching like Supergirl or actually I saw the preview for the Flash when I was watching Jane the Virgin. You see like emo Flash in there, and I mean, you know he's going to the future. You already know that going into the episode, so that gives away nothing. But they don't tell you why he's emo. They don't tell you what's going on in 2024. So you're actually going in blindly. And I like that they actually did that this way.
Good.
Yeah.
Think I'll just start with the obvious. Pick up where we left off with the episode.
Yeah.
Killer Frost.
Yep.
She's back.
She's back.
And she is
evil.
And
they haven't given her a sexy costume yet, though.
You know what? I'm okay. She's just really...
Yeah.
I really enjoy Danielle Panabaker as Killer Frost.
I think as an actress, she's better at evil than she is at good.
Maybe it's that face.
Yeah.
She has that face where you can't think she's bad.
Right.
So when she's a good enough actress to when she does play bad, it's believable. And that's a good combo, because you have people who play bad guys who should not play bad guys.
Yeah.
First thing that came to mind, randomly, you ever see the movie Mr. Brooks?
Yeah.
With Dane Cook was like that bad guy-ish person?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was like, yay for taking different parts, but you're not pulling it off.
Right, yeah.
Well, whatever. They paid you.
Yeah.
Danielle Panabaker's not that.
No. Yeah. She plays bad very good.
And I like that, because that was the thing, because we knew that Barry was going to the future in this very episode we watched from the last episode. But then the last episode ended with the Killer Frost like cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So we're like, how does this relate?
Yeah.
Why are you going? And I love he answered it with one little thing. You know, I can come back to the exact same time I just left.
Right.
No matter how long I've been gone.
Yeah.
I can come back. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, well then, go on.
He does just that.
Go on.
Yeah. I like how they even make a comment when he does come back to this time that it's like he's never been gone. Like, did something not work?
No,
so it's like,
everyone.
We're just going to drill it in. I can literally come back to this exact time.
Yep, and he did.
Yeah.
So, future was very sad.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another thing like I was talking about with Supergirl, where you can only have one superhero.
Yes.
And there's no crossing boundaries, because when the Flash was gone, Topsy-Turvy and Mirrorball get to rule the place.
And obviously in 2024...
they get Inception powers.
Yes. And the Legends or Arrow, which is like, not my problem.
Yeah, right? Central City? Nah, who needs it?
Who needs it? Exactly. Because not only was the Flash MIA in that time, Kid Flash is definitely MIA.
Yeah.
So other superheroes in the Arrowverse were like...
yeah, no. If they can get rid of 2 Flashes, not touching it.
If they come over here, we'll handle it. But
yeah,
we're okay.
Yes. So he goes to 2024 with a little help from Kid Flash. He gives him a literal push into the future. And like I said, it's a dystopia type future. Bad guys are running amok.
Iris is dead.
We find out that Barry has become like the ultimate emo.
Ultimate.
Ultimate emo.
Ultimate.
Yeah.
Like the kind,
super emo.
like the kind of emo that you had to travel back into the 2000s to find.
Yeah. Like, The Cure wouldn't like him. No. That sort of level of emo here. It's like, and his hair was the worst.
Yes.
Purposely, obviously. But it's like, just, you don't even have to cut it. You don't even have to style it. Wash it.
Yes.
Just take one bath. The water will probably be black, like your soul now.
But I don't know if it's a joke now or something, but the Arrowverse shows are horrible with wigs.
Yes.
I think it has to be a joke on us now.
It has to, yeah.
Because have you seen at least the first episode of Arrow?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a horrible wig.
Yeah.
That they used when he was trapped on the island.
And then what they did was they ran over it with a dump truck and put it on Barry for this one.
Well, first they didn't wash it after all those years and put it on Robbie Almo's character.
Yeah.
When he was Hobo Firestorm.
Yeah.
And then, again, a horrible wig.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Barry gets to wear probably the same wig.
Probably, yeah.
I feel like it's a joke now.
Mm-hmm. The costume department's like, yeah, I bet we can use this in every show at least once a season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it was if nothing else, that was a nice moment to laugh at.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard to take him seriously with that hair too. It's like, come on, dude. It's like you were that torn up, you couldn't do anything with this.
But yeah, he was that torn up.
Yeah.
So torn up that there is no, as we said, there is no superhero team at all.
No Team Flash.
In the very mere 7 years.
And again, to the costume department here, Cisco looks homeless.
Yes.
Totally homeless.
Yes,
Yeah.
even though he has a home.
Right. Because my wife goes, what's with his sweater? I was like, that's obviously homeless, Cisco. But then they show that he's not, and I'm like, I've got no excuse now.
Yes. The only people, and Julian looked older.
Yeah.
Killer Frost is still Killer Frost.
I think they were smart, though, only doing 7 years in the future, because then you don't have to do like all of this makeup or CGI and all that. You know.
Killer Frost still Killer Frost.
Yep. In a cage now.
Yep. And very bad. And so good at it.
Yeah. And I like that she differentiates herself from Caitlin. And she's like, no, I don't want her to come back. I don't want Snow.
Yeah.
You know?
But the big reveal when they did show Caitlin or Killer Frost in the future is that there is only one person who does know who Savitar is.
Yep.
Because
that's
Barry,
his teammates.
Yes. Barry went to the future to see if he can talk to his future self. Because he sees that in the future there is no Savitar threat.
Right.
So clearly, at that time, he deduces, well, obviously, I beat him somehow.
Right.
So let me go there, ask him some questions, and we'll,
Makes sense.
Yeah. Which, not a bad plan, but Emo Barry had things to say about that.
Yeah.
Basically saying, you're wasting your time, go home.
And when he first said that, I thought that he was just being emo. I thought, okay, he does know, but he's not telling himself.
And turns out he doesn't know.
No.
But he did say that there is one person who does. Killer Frost. But she'll never tell.
Right. Yeah,
Did you like that reference?
Yeah, I kind of want to see her in a horror movie now.
Yeah, I know, man. She'll never... Or at least say that in the show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
She'll never tell. But then he goes to see that Wally has been crippled and extremely... Even sadder than Barry.
And his hair is still getting bigger.
Yes.
He is going to have a full-blown 70s afro by the season finale. But at least it's the Speed Force doing it, I think.
At least it's a real hair problem.
Right, yeah.
And not a horrible wig.
They just told the actor not to get a haircut during all this.
It's not a horrible wig.
But I think the Speed Force is increasing the growth time.
Exactly. Let's see, who else? The only person that has a very happy life is HR.
Yeah.
Because we see Joe and Barry do not have a relationship anymore.
No. And I mean, it makes sense because...
It does make sense.
Yeah, he wasn't there for him when Iris died. And, that would rub me raw, too. So.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, HR became a writer.
And
it's the Streak versus Mr. Reflecto.
Yes.
And texting technology in the future is amazing.
Yes.
Because you can text somebody without knowing their number or without giving them your number.
Yes.
I mean, I know this is really nitpicking superhero shows, but it's like that part didn't make any sense to me.
But at least it was funny to see.
Oh, it was.
At least when he was whisked away by past Flash.
Yeah.
He's like, I was about to do it. Check something off the list every man wants to do.
Yeah. He was very true to HR.
Yes.
So, and that gives me hope. I mean, that obviously shows he's not Savitar, but that gives me hope that we're not going to see any evil HR in the.
He's just goofy.
Yeah.
And if that's the only Tom Cavanaugh we see from here on out, I am fully
Well,
fine.
he directed this episode too.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
But if that's the only Tom Cavanaugh we see, I'm fully fine with that.
Yeah. Because I mean, it just makes sense that if the only reason he's at Star Labs is because of Team Flash.
Yes.
So when Team Flash disperses, he's
Why?
just going to go do what he wants. And I love
But
that
he did stay in Central City.
Yeah, well, because of jitters, because
Yes.
of coffee.
HR jitters.
HR jitters, and I love that they kept that. They kept his obsessions there. He's a simple man.
He is,
but we love him for that.
We do.
Yeah,
And I do love that they must own that building or something.
they must. Yeah. I want to go to HR jitters now.
Exactly.
and I also want a copy of the Streak versus Mr. Reflecto.
Yes.
Because I love how names and faces have been changed to protect the innocent sort of thing.
But so the grand plan after that was that, Barry was about to go home at the requests of his future self.
Right.
And after seeing that there is nothing in the future for him.
Yeah. And it makes sense because he can change the past to change the future. So why stay in the future and change the future?
Yeah.
Except that homeless Cisco asks him to.
Yes.
Like twice.
But the whole thing, like when... I do credit Carlos Valdez for this because, that scene where he's begging past Barry to stay was very touching.
Yeah.
But what I wanted Barry to say, like, you do know if I fix this, none of this will be a thing.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go fix it, though.
But if I fix it there, we're not having this conversation.
Yeah.
But no, because at that point, there still need to be about 35 more minutes of the show.
Right. And also we find out that Killer Frost and Cisco have had their big fight.
Yes.
And that Cisco lost his hands.
Yeah, so he can't vibe anymore.
Right. But the visual effects company only had enough money to do one hand.
Yes.
And just for a few seconds there. So we get to see his Star Trek hand, and then the glove goes back on.
But, I thought that was a clever way to, hide that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I didn't even think about the gloves until he took it off. Because, again, I was just assuming homeless.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what they were going for, kudos to the costumers.
Yeah. And seeing this pitiful Cisco, I mean, again, talking about the actor, he did a really good job.
Yeah.
He still understands technology, but it's been that 7 years of hardship that
they've thrown a lot at Carlos Valdez this season between Flashpoint where he loses his brother and whatnot. This episode
and Dragon Con where you stole his eye drops.
I did not steal his eye drops. I stole his hand sanitizer.
His hand sanitizer, excuse me. Which of course was Barry's fault for messing with the timeline.
Yes. So past Barry's plan is to unite Team Flash to restore hope.
Yes.
And they do.
And they do it very easily, too. That kind of surprised me. I thought they were going to try to stretch it out over 2 episodes when he couldn't automatically run back.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. Because Cisco has that little stopper, that little interference.
So his plan is to stop, apparently, the only criminal duo that wanted Central City.
Yeah.
The Top and Mirror Master.
Yeah.
And oh no.
Why do they have to have some of the worst names? Too?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I love how no matter how many times he's encountered some certain villains, he always falls for the same trick.
Yeah.
So like, he's standing and giving his hero speech to Mirror Master in the Top.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that if you look at the Top, she'll do the vertigo on you.
Right.
So you would think...
So let's just stare at her.
Let's just keep going. And naturally, like you said, then Inception powers come in.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, Barry, we gotta get this somehow. How do we do it?
I'll do it. And they do that voice where it's like, okay, is that supposed to be Wally talking? It's like, isn't he crippled now?
I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's Batman. Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's Flash. Everyone's Batman.
The only thing that I credit Emo Flash to is that I love his new suit.
Yeah. Yeah, when do we get 2024 suit?
I wanted him to be like, since this future might not happen, can we just switch suits right now?
Right.
Because
even though Emo Berry is a little taller when they're in their suits.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that was weird.
That's bad casting.
Yes.
It's what that is.
That was weird, but whatever.
Because it's like noticeably taller. I'm like, that's not how the future works.
Because the thing is, like, everybody who's worn a Flash suit, or Speedster suit so far, has filled it out very well.
Right.
Kid Flash looks a lot more built than the Flash.
Right.
But in that suit, I don't know if it was the double or something, but he filled that suit.
Yeah.
I thought at least. And it looked more heroic.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's one of those things, when you see something for so long, you think, oh, well, that's the norm. Yeah. So we've seen Barry's suit for 3 seasons now. And besides the logo change, you think, hey, that's the suit. Whatever, it's cool. And then we see that suit, it's like, wow.
Oh, it can get better.
You look like you're wearing pajamas now.
Yeah.
Because this looks like a suit.
You are cosplaying as your future self.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hurry up.
Yeah.
Like, after you defeat Savitar, however you do it, somebody tell Cisco what you saw.
Yeah, bring these designs back to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I want that suit.
Yeah.
And plus, I think it makes, like I said, I think it makes you look more heroic.
It does. It's less cartoony. Yeah.
Or,
not that the one we have now is really cartoony, but by comparison.
Yeah, it's always when you see something better.
Yeah.
Because I had, up until this point, I had no problem.
Yeah.
You know, that was the Flash suit, and that was cool. Not anymore.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about the bad guys again. I do have to give Barry a little bit of leeway, because you were talking about Supergirl and things you like about Supergirl and Live there. I like the sort of, like, goth chick look. So if Mirror came up to me, even if I knew her powers, it's going to be hard for me to look away. Yeah. So I've got to let Barry off on that one. It's like, okay. Yeah, I would be having vertigo too.
Well, it's okay, because if Killer Frost came to me, I would kiss her.
Yeah, you'd be. It's like, no, I can be Mr. Frost. It's fine.
Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Freeze. Oh, is that taken?
Yeah.
We'll come with something later.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Mr. Chill. I don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Chill.
Dr. Chill. Sir Chill.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I didn't go to 8 years of chill out college to be called Mr. Chill.
But
yeah,
nice, good segue.
Yeah.
Because so before I saw this episode, because I have an odd work schedule, so I don't get to watch these shows, any of these shows when they come on.
Right.
I see it post viewing.
Yeah.
So I did read an article before, or at least the title of the article did say that this coming week we will find out who is Savitar.
Right.
So I'm thinking, oh, are they really going to tell us? This is before I watched it. Because, you know, they've been teasing Savitar for a while. They teased Savitar hard with Abracadabra.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Right, yeah.
So when they said, we will learn Savitar's identity next week. Really? Are we really? So the last scene is the uniting of Savitar and Killer Frost. Basically, he promised her that he can get rid of anything Caitlin.
Yeah. And he's like, I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid.
Yeah. A whole new world. Yep. And she's basically asked...
We're going to get sued by Disney now, but it's okay.
A whole new land.
A whole new Flash suit.
She asked, why should I trust you?
Right.
And apparently the Savitar armor is an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Because...
Or a Transformer. I wasn't sure where they were going at first.
It opened up, and it looked like just a regular dude. And he stands up, and she agrees immediately.
Yes.
So... that made me go, well, I guess you're right. We will learn who you are.
Yeah.
Theories on who could be.
Ronnie.
Two popular ones are Ronnie, and Future Barry.
Yeah. So Future Barry?
Future Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's possible he could have battled an even future version of him.
Yeah.
But those are the Future Barry has been a long-running one. But after that episode, everybody's like, oh God, is it Ronnie?
Yeah.
Because she agreed. No questions asked.
Right.
By seeing his face, like, the only person that could probably make her do that is, of course, Ronnie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't think that it was Future Flash, because she's going to remember Barry as the one that's trying to change her back to Caitlin. So why would she automatically agree to him? But Ronnie, it's like she's got that, connection still that.
Well, luckily, if they are true to their word, we will find out very soon.
Yeah.
But when he popped out the suit, I was like, oh, you're serious. You are going to tell us.
Yeah. And I like that they left it on that cliffhanger instead of showing us and then going off.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, let us work for it. Let's wait.
Yes.
Wait that week.
Thoughts on anything else coming up? Because we're winding down.
I still think Joe's going to die.
You know what? I did see a new theory.
Mm-hmm.
And while I don't hate it, but if that's the route they're going with, I wish they would have done better.
Mm-hmm.
They're speculating, what if Cecilia is the one that dies?
But why?
Why not?
Because we don't care enough about her.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if that was the route you're taking, you could have done a better job making us. Because we like her right now. We don't have a problem with her. But you didn't make us. We haven't invested our time with Cecilia.
And also, where's she been?
Exactly. She's mostly name.
Yeah.
It's like, if that's who you're going to kill, it's like, you could have done a better job making us want to miss her.
But see, here's my theory. I have a theory around Joe now.
Okay.
Besides the fact that he's a father figure. My theory is that the night that Iris gets killed she is going to the award ceremony for Joe. And that's why she's in that particular location. So, if she's already in the same general vicinity as Joe and Flash saves Iris and Joe's also there, boom.
Well,
I mean, it's convoluted, but
Well, we don't have to find out. We don't have to wait very long.
Yeah.
It's winding down.
Yeah, and I love that they keep reminding us, May 23rd is going to be the final episode.
Dang, okay, God.
Yeah. And so a couple things about time travel. So Barry in real world time only has a month left with Iris, but future Barry is like, yeah, make all this great time with her and do all these great... Yeah, he has a month.
Yeah.
He has less than a month now. Don't you know that? My other problem with traveling in the future is... So, and I thought about this way too much during the episode.
It's okay. I think you're on a better track than last week's episode of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I really was pulling for something there.
Yep.
So, let's say you and I'm Flash.
Okay.
You're Cisco.
Okay.
So, I say, okay, I've got to save this podcast.
Yes.
In 2024, this podcast is going to explode. Savitar is going to destroy the podcasting industry, in air quotes, industry. So I'm going to go to 2024 and do that.
Right.
So I leave right now. From this point on in time, I don't exist. So when I get to 2024, one, you're going to remember that I went forward in time.
I did think of that when he said, I was expecting lines like, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, Cisco's was, and also, I'm not going to run into me in the future because I'm not there anymore because time keeps going. So it's like they just pause time.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. So I didn't pull as much as I did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last time, but I'm still watching it like, yeah, when he traveled in the past and ran into himself, that stuff made a lot more sense. Or when he specifically said, I'm going to a different timeline,
Yes.
That stuff made more sense. This one was just like, yeah, you've messed up. And then he shakes his own hand in the future, and everybody knows in the, like, rule 1 of time travel is you do not touch yourself because that sounded worse than it should have. Because you cannot take up space in that close proximity at the same time. And it's like, they're just breaking all the timeline rules.
But they made you forget about it because we're going to learn who Savitar is.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that very last scene with Killer Frost, or as I keep wanting to call her Frostbite, and Savitar, that made up for the entire 45 minutes before that.
I want to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
Yes, let's go to S.H.I.E.L.D. All the Madam's men.
Oh, yeah.
So they start off on the right foot because it's like we're going to end with Quake getting cocooned or Sky getting cocooned.
Yes.
And we're going to open back with Quake coming out.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Yes.
Right there. And we didn't have to wait 3 or 4 weeks for it.
Just like the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has
They didn't explain why May wasn't affected by the Terrigen. missed.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're like, come on, we gotta chop.
But we have good guy May again, so
yes. This has been one of the most consistently great arcs S.H.I.E.L.D. has done.
Yeah.
I'd say in the whole show history.
That's because this time it's just like an A story throughout. Even if they do kind of go off on these little mini, it's like A1, A2, A3. There's not really like a B plot, C plot going on.
Very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because, when they first announced, when they went on a long break, and pretty much the rest of the episode will be in the framework.
Yeah.
So it's a big giant what if. We're like, okay, that'd be cool. I did not expect it to be this compelling.
Yeah, because it's like, how long can you make that
things
last?
Things that don't matter.
Right.
Like,
you make them matter. That's what you do.
Oh, wow.
You kill off major characters.
I'm just going to let you read some synopsis, and I'm going to just give my thoughts because I'm trying to collect it all in a big synopsis of my own, and I can't. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, that kind of goes with... did you read my second line here? I put, it's really hard to recap the framework episodes and hit all of the highlights because it all is...
Okay, Madam Hydra.
Important.
Let's start with Madam Hydra.
Madam Hydra, yeah. So,
even when she hits the ground from 20, 30 stories down, she is still sexy.
She is. But I like that it affected her.
Yes.
That it affected the framework version of her, at least, because you expect, okay, Ada in the real world is a robot, so a fall like that's not going to affect her like a person. So obviously, in the framework, it's not going to affect her like a person. Oh, it does. So
yes.
It breaks her and bruises her, and even laying in bed with, bruise marks and all that.
Well, it just shows how hard she is trying to be a real person.
Yeah.
Except a real person would have died.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, she does get, crippled for, however.
Because, silly her, she stood by an open window in front of Quake.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was surprisingly surprised of Sky getting her powers back. You would think, if you're computer brain, you would eventually kind of figure out, okay, this probably will happen.
Yep.
Things are eventually going to lead to that. And I shouldn't be around any, I shouldn't at least be on the 20th story when this happens. Maybe the first, second floor. Yeah.
But, so she was out of commission.
Yes, and this makes Fitz pissed. That's the only word for it. They have broken his woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he is out for blood now.
Yes.
And
his dad is the worst person ever.
I like how we now only know Alistair Fitz for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're assuming it's somewhat of the real Alistair Fitz.
Yeah.
But he is a bastard.
He is.
And I love how in the 2 episodes we known him, we learned that he raised Fitz to be cold and have no feelings.
Right. And it's an insult to be anything like his mother.
Yes. And even when he is telling his dad he wants them dead.
Yeah.
And snapping at his dad, he still wants to bring Fitz down.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
But he's made Fitz so hard that I think he's willing to kill his own dad.
Oh, I think he will.
Yeah.
I think that's coming.
Because I thought it was coming in this episode, actually, because he's like, yeah, you made a mistake, so we've got to take,
3 more.
We've got to fix this.
Yeah. And I think he was that close. If his dad didn't come up with that one little blurb about Radcliffe event, I think he would have. Yeah. I think he would have right there.
Yeah, but it's because this is the man you've created now. It's like, yeah, this is the worst version of Fitz ever, which is excellently done.
He's pulling it off.
Yeah, and I think he has a Caitlin Snow face. Is what it is. It's like he looks like this good, innocent. I mean, especially if you go to season 1 and 2, he's this good, innocent little kid that is just trying to make it.
Here he is not.
No,
he is not at all.
Not at all.
But
as far as he is concerned, Ada is real.
Yes.
And he's having the same sort of reaction that Barry does.
Going back to Quake now and May, I love she does ask the questions. How are you in control of your power so fast? I had to practice.
Yeah, it's complicated. I love that she didn't explain it to her, too, because I thought for a minute we're going to get the whole, this is the framework, this is we know this. It's like, no, it's complicated then. Not going into it right now.
But It was a good, quick moment, though, even though when she learned that Patriot had died.
Yeah.
So, therefore, she knows that Mace...
And I forgot that she didn't know.
Yeah.
Until they did that. And just that reaction on her face was like... I felt it again, like we had lost him again. I was like, oh, yeah.
But she can't sit there and,
Yeah, she'll mourn him later.
Yeah. Because they're on the run. But just that look of, like, she realized that we lost Mace.
Yeah. Because she knows in the real world he's now gone.
He's out. Yeah. I'm glad that they did not give Simmons any time of Ward this episode. I think they heard me.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we like Ward. So we stand with Ward.
I'm standing with this Ward so hard.
Yeah.
Because, as last week, if you remember, viewers, Simmons is willing to bend over backwards and believing that the Fitz that's in the framework is real Fitz. Yet... Ward, who is right now really zeros and ones.
Right.
And it's not the Ward we know.
Yeah.
She wants to believe that that's the Ward that locked her in the box and threw her in the ocean.
Yeah, she has the worst double standards.
Yes. So I'm glad this time they just separated them.
Yeah. It's like, no, Fitz can change, but Ward, you can't change.
Even though you're dead and you're not real.
Yeah. I insult this one kid for being ones and zeros, but no, you can't be that.
Yeah, so I'm glad this time they fixed that.
Yeah.
For the time being.
She didn't get a lot of screen time.
Maybe they heard me.
Yeah.
Maybe they really heard me.
Yeah.
They really heard me. Leave Ward alone!
Yeah, right. We filmed this months ago, but we knew what TeeVo was going to say about it, so we went ahead and fixed it.
I feel like they knew what a lot of Ward followers were going to say about that.
Yeah.
So, but she did spend time with Trip. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, so we knew Trip was going to be in it.
Yes.
So that wasn't surprised this time. I'm no longer trying to make theories about why Trip is there, even though I'm suspecting that something is going to come up.
Well, I do think that too, but I don't think it's with Trip.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you know what? Why I don't think Trip is... I'm just fast-forwarding to the end.
Yeah.
So the end game for Ada right now is that with Darkhold technology...
She wants to be a real boy.
Yes, she wants to... With Darkhold technology and the framework, she has made a very convoluted machine to essentially build a body from the framework. So making her, as Ophelia, Madame Hydra, come into the real world.
Right. Instead of just being a robot overlord, which you think would make more sense.
But but they did a good job explaining that. As for Robot Self, right now, well, I didn't say, well, maybe not explain that well, but they explained why.
Explain it in comic book terms.
Yeah. Right now, she has parameters that she cannot really hurt people.
Right.
And she gave that to Superior.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? This episode, I'm seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to meet him at DragonCon.
Right.
Even though he wasn't in a lot, but I can see that thing, that X factor that made him scary and
Black Sails?
Yeah. He brought a little bit of that.
Oh, he definitely did. Because I thought when he goes for Coulson's neck there, I thought somehow he has found a loophole in his parameter and Coulson's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So, good job on that.
Yeah.
Took a while for me to see what you see.
Well, I kept wondering, when are they going to bring him back? Are they going to put him in the framework? Are they going to...
Yeah.
How in the world... Because we knew he wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean... Technically,
well, I don't know.
Yeah. Within this universe, he's not dead, sort of thing. He's not himself anymore, right? Yeah,
but they both have the parameters that they can't just willy-nilly hurt people,
right?
So,
if I'm a robot overlord with parameters, why don't I just have henchmen who go out and do the dirty work?
I think you know what? I think it's just the Everclass. She just wants to be a person more than be the Overlord. She just overall wants to be a person.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of
and be real.
Ultron from the comics. Because in the comics, he wanted to be a real boy, sort of thing.
I'm a real boy. Yeah. So, with that machine, now the theories and rumors are exploding on the internet.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I thought of it at the same time. So it's like, so if you're telling me you can bring anybody back from the framework...
Yeah. We can rebuild Ward. We have the technology.
And we can rebuild that Ward.
Yeah.
And Trip.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't think Trip is going to come back to the real world... they're remaking... they're doing another TV show movie. This time with Behind Enemy Lines.
Okay.
And Trip got the lead part in the pilot.
Okay.
whether that gets picked up, that's up for debate. But I like to think they're hoping that he gets the job.
Yeah.
So they might not make him.
So he may die for the resistance here.
Yeah. Now, if the show doesn't get picked up and he still doesn't come back, then he's like, darn it. But
it does open up a lot more plots.
Well, it's just, the thing is, I think there's more reward for us with Ward. Because Trip is still the same person. While we like him, and we liked him when he was alive in the real world, the dynamic will be the exact same. Hey, come on, girl.
There's never been evil Hydra Trip.
Yeah. With Ward, it will be interesting to see if he does come back, that new one. Yeah. Because you're going to have many people who are going to be like, ugh, I hate you.
Yeah.
But we know it's not that guy.
Right.
Stop thinking that. However, going back again, I'm just jumping all over.
Yeah, no,
I don't even care. Sorry, people, if you're confused. But if you watch the episode, you won't be.
Yeah. Or you might be confused because of the episode.
Yeah. But as he explained, Framework Ward grew up the exact same way Real World Ward did.
Right.
The only difference is that the person who intercepted him before he went to jail was a true S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Right.
And I love he was like, what was his name? Like how you think it's a man.
Yeah.
Her name was Victoria Hand.
Yeah.
So, and it just does show that Ward.
I love these great callbacks to things.
And did you see Bill Paxton's picture on Bakshi News? That was nice.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Nice little, tidbit there.
Yeah.
But it just showed that Ward is, even though we said he's so different, he still is the same.
Yeah.
He was only a Hydra agent because Garrett was Hydra.
Right, yeah.
So when,
And he was just looking for that paternal figure to follow.
And in the Framework's case, he just needed that maternal figure. And she was S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, hardcore S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's like, well, she saw what I thought. She thought highly of me. She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. I will be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Right.
Ride or die.
Yeah. And how are you loving... I'm going to ask if you're liking... How are you loving Framework Coulson? Or shouldn't we call him Director Coulson? Should we just already go ahead and call him that?
Oh.
Because he has slipped right back into that no problem.
I wonder whenever they wake up to real world, they're going to remember everything. I think they will.
I think so.
I hope Coulson remembers some of this stuff.
Because, just from a storyline sort of thing, it would be useless for them to forget. Like, oh, well, that never happened.
Yeah.
Now, okay, then why'd you make us sit through 10 episodes or whatever of it?
I hope he remembers some of this stuff. He needs some of this. He needs to get back on this.
Yeah.
It was, wow.
Yeah.
And I love it ended with, I am Phil Coulson.
Yeah.
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Yeah, he is back where he needs to be. And it was kind of like a semi-slow burn getting him back there. But it
was worth it.
It was worth it, yeah.
It was worth it, especially how they ended Mace. It wasn't like a changing of power type thing.
Right.
And
it's like somebody needs to step forward and be in charge.
And it gave Mace that ending that he deserved.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'm running out of time here.
Yeah.
But the last thing I want to single out is that moment with Skye and Ward.
Yeah.
Where, unlike when Ward apologized for nothing he did, Simmons was not receptive.
Right.
To Skye, I love that they had that talk. They actually had a conversation.
Yeah.
And they, for us viewers, it was a good moment to maybe see Ward repent.
Yeah.
But that's just that.
And yet another reason why we need Ward to come back.
Ward. Like, so it's not a surprise that I look to, unlike with the DC shows, I do look at Marvel's synopsize for the next few episodes. They have the next two. They don't have the finale yet, but for obvious reasons.
Because they're Marvel and they do it right.
Yeah. However, they don't have Brett Dalton listed in the next two episodes. But it makes sense. He chose to stay behind.
Right.
But as we saw, he is, at least for now, not going to die in an angry mob.
Right.
So he's off somewhere that we don't know. I like to think that, oh no, Ward's not with us, but the last episode, he shows up and, I'm in the machine!
Just in the nick of time.
In the nick of time.
Yeah.
So, Just put that out there.
Yeah. So.
And I don't think any of us will hate it.
No, not at all.
I know your wife will be very happy.
Oh, definitely.
I'd like to think she's been happy with these episodes so far at all.
She has, yeah.
But yeah. So I want to see the next. I want to see them.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I actually like to think that the third act of this season is much stronger than last season's.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And also, it would make sense because if they really want to pair up someone with Daisy,
I know. Yeah.
Why not Goodward?
Right. Yeah.
Just saying.
Then we can all forget about Lincoln.
Yeah. I think Lincoln's even probably forgot about Lincoln.
Probably.
Yeah. So, well, that is part 2.
Yep.
See you next week. Oh, one more thing. Powerless is canceled, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the two of us watching it did nothing.
Guess not.
Yeah.
Well, it's pulled from the schedule.
Okay.
But it's not a good thing when that happens.
No.
Just tidbit there. Anybody of our listeners who watched it, sorry if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you didn't, well, good.
Yeah. So if you didn't enjoy it, it's your fault. It's gone.
And we'll see you next week.
Next week.